Good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Court remands those arrested in connection with the largest gold smuggling case from TIA for 10 days. Probe committee formed. Dengue infection spreading at an alarming rate. Government implement annual action plan to combat the rise. Russia-Ukraine war likely to go more intense as US confirms Ukraine use of cluster bombs. Russia bombs Ukraine ports, threatening ships. Zach Crawley's sensational 189 helped England storm past Australia's first innings total following a remarkable day 2 of the fourth Ashes. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. The Patan High Court has given 10 days for Revenue Investigation Department to investigate 10% arrested in connection with smuggling of some 100 kilograms of gold. Deputy Registrar at the High Court Patan informed that the department allowed 10 more days for the investigation into the gold smuggling. The accused ones behind the smuggling were presented before the court on Thursday. So far, the department has arrested 10 persons, including a Chinese national. In this connection, the Chinese national was arrested from the TIA on Thursday while he was leaving for China via the Tibetan Airlines. The department arrested 2 more persons late in the evening yesterday in connection with the smuggling case. Those are Krishna Shrestha and Pushkar Raj Bhatta. Other arrestees are taxi driver Ashok Rana Magar, custom agent Rajendra Kumar Rai, proprietor of Ready Trade Private Limited, Dilip Bhujel, assistants Harkaraj Rai, Thukpin Chiring and Rajkumar Bhujel. With this, the number of arrested in the case has now reached 10. Meanwhile, the Department of Customs has formed a probe committee to investigate into the incident related to the smuggling of around 1 quintal gold from TIA without checking. A 6-member probe committee was formed under the coordination of Director of Investigation Section of Department of Customs, Man Bahadur Paurel, said the Information Officer Punya Vikram Khadka. The investigation committee has been directed to submit its report within 5 days. Director General of the Department, Shobhakant Paurel, formed the probe committee to look into the incident, how around 1 quintal of gold was passed from the customs without checking. The Department of Revenue Investigation has seized around 100 kilograms of gold from Sinamangal on Wednesday. Total 10 persons have been arrested in this connection so far. The Supreme Court has sought a written response from the government on its financial arrangement for the Constituency Development Fund. A single bench of Justice Hari Prasad Fuyal issued a so-cause notice to the government after conducting a preliminary hearing on a writ on Thursday. Finance Minister Prakash Charan Mahat, Office of the Prime Minister and Finance Ministry, among others, have been demanded written response why 50 million was allocated to the Constituency Development Fund through the recent budget. We take a look into a short break here. More news follows up next. Stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. Taking a look into more news. The government has implemented an annual action plan to combat the increasing dengue infection. The plan outlines vector control, mosquito breeding measures, treatment methods, and the role of local levels, Red Cross and health organizations. The Epidemiology and Disease Control Division issued a special circular in 92 high-risk districts and special circular in the high-risk districts, and further management is being carried out in high-risk districts. The highest number of dengue-infected people has been found in Sunsari with 1,571 people infected and 1 person killed. Treatment rooms have been set up at the BP Koirala Institute of Health Sciences, and the infection has been seen in 68 districts so far. The department recommends avoiding freezing water, filling potholes, and avoiding open containers to prevent mosquito bites. The Kathmandu Metropolitan City has informed that it would not collect garbage till the agreement reaches with the local people in Nuwako. Director of the Environment Section at KMC, Rabin Man Shrestha, said discussions were going on among the people's representatives of concerned local levels, Ministry of Urban Development and the stakeholders. He further said as the locals were piling up pressure with additional demands, garbage disposal faced hindrance. However, the spokesperson said KMC was for effective discussion to resolve problems facing the garbage disposal. Meanwhile, Ward Number 1 Chairman of Dhunibeshi Municipality, Man Bahadur Tamang, insisted that they would continue obstruction until the state does not express solidarity to locals' demands. The state must ascertain the time in which this problem will be solved, he underlined. Taking you to Palpa, with the changes in the weather pattern, number of vital fever patients are increasing in both government and private hospitals of Palpa district. Day by day, private hospital of Palpa, including the district hospital, United Mission Hospital of Tansen, Lumbini Medical College, and several health posts of the municipalities are getting crowded with growing number of viral fever patients. The medical superintendent of the district hospital Palpa, Dr. Vivek Bhandari, said there has been increase in number of patients complaining with the common cold, fever, diarrhea and typhoid. He added in the past, hospitals OPD used to receive around 60 to 70 patients in a day, but now the number has shooted up to 150 persons in a day. Towards the international update, where Russia jolted world grain markets with an escalation in the Black Sea, mounting a third straight night of airstrikes on the Ukrainian ports and issuing a threat against Ukraine, which vessels to which Kyiv responded in kind. At least 27 civilians were reported hurt in the airstrikes on the ports, which set buildings ablaze and damaged China's consulate in Odessa. Meanwhile, the White House has confirmed that Ukraine is using U.S. cluster bombs against Russian forces in the country. National Security spokesman John Kirby said initial feedback suggested they were being used effectively on Russian defensive positions and operations. Cluster bombs scatter multiple bomblets and are banned by more than 100 states due to their threat to civilians. The U.S. agreed to supply them to boost Ukrainian ammunition supplies. Ukraine has promised the bombs will only be used to dislodge concentrations of Russian soldiers there in its territory. And let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for more updates.
अब 43 र 53 ग्रेड सहित होंक्सी सिमेन्ट।
Welcome back to NTV News. We take a look into further developments as wildfires swept through the forest of Rhodes in Greece on Wednesday. Greek officials warned people in 3 nearby villages that they should begin to evacuate. The blaze began on the island, which is known for its beach resorts and had been by Wednesday spread almost to the center of the island, the Greek fire service said in a statement. The flames were approaching Apollona and Larerma, but were not yet threatening residential areas. 112 Greece, the country's emergency hotline, said in on social media. Those firefighters were just a few of the many from Greece and abroad who've been working this week to stamp out violent wildfires across the country, where blazes fueled by dry weather and heat waves across southern Europe. Taking you to Thailand, where Thailand is set for more political upheaval after Pita Lamzorinath was barred by parliament from running for prime minister on Wednesday, angering his supporters and opening the door for his coalition partners to seek the top job. Thailand's parliament will convene on July the 27th to vote on the country's new prime minister. Pita, the leader of the party that won the May general election, was blocked from heading the next government, with lawmakers deciding he cannot be nominated again. His first attempt to get parliament's backing last week failed as conservative parties and the military-appointed Senate voted against him. Let's take a look into the highlights of what's coming up next. The Shenzhou 16 astronauts aboard the China's space station Tiangong completed their first spacewalk on Thursday, according to the China Manned Space Agency. Astronauts Jing Haipeng and Zhu Zhangshu, together with Gui Haiqiao, China's first civilian astronaut collaborated to accomplish all set tasks. Xing opened the hatch of the airlock cabin. Xing and Zhu returned safely to the Wenqian lab module after around 8 hours of extravehicular activities. During the extravehicular activities, they completed several tasks, including installing and lifting the support frame for a panoramic camera outside the Tianhe core module and unlocking and lifting 2 panoramic cameras outside the Mengxian lab module. The Shenzhou 16 crew, as planned, will carry out a large number of space science experiments and complete multiple extravehicular installation tasks of application loads in the future. Time now for sports update. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. Court remands those arrested in connection with the largest gold smuggling case from TIA for 10 days. Probe committee formed. Dengue infection spreading at an alarming rate. Government to implement an annual action plan to combat the rise. Russia-Ukraine war likely to go more intense as US confirms Ukraine's use of cluster bombs. Russia bombs Ukraine ports, threatening the ships. And Zach Crawley's sensational 189 helped England storm past Australia's first innings total following a remarkable day 2 of the 4th Ashes. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.